Welcome back. That is a threat, actually. It's me again. Oh my god. Okay. Jump scare. Okay. Chapter 2. Abandoned Adversary. Igor ran for his life, never looking back, sprinting recklessly, to the point he fell into a small pit. Narity Poppy took the time to think, since he was too scared to do so. Cherry snakes only made pits like these, of course. That's one more of those misleading creatures. Trauma response to the deadly rabbits, I guess. Under him, the dirt started to shift and squiggle. The snakes started emerging. I feel so proud of myself that I used a semicolon. Ooh! Icarus got up once again to continue, though with his haste he became clumsy and uncoordinated, which this was not the time for. As the dirt shimmied, it became like quicksand, however quicker than quicksand, since sand was vast. Anyway, he still struggled as the small creatures went up his legs like leeches. The red bodies make him look like the cherries, and the venom they had yet to release their cherry pet. Wouldn't recommend eating though. Igor squawked, his voice cracking with his terror as he got himself up, ripping the snakes that weren't really snakes off of his body before slipping down onto the grass. He clawed his way up to get keep running till he couldn't go any longer, his legs growing weary as he pressed on till he eventually stopped and plumped down on his knees. Prick! He spoke in a sigh. This is a PG-13 episode, so we only have the budget for one F-bomb this chapter. This is so messed up. What do I do now? I don't want to go back to the gang. He sulked in his failure, regretting his acceptance even though he didn't have a choice. Once again, he hears a dreading noise of movement nearby, beginning to panic, just touch more when his eyes flicked up to the noise, seeing that being again. But now holding the stuff he previously abandoned for the plot. It stared at him in silence before approaching at a steady pace, and at a steady and controlled pace. My goodness. Let me read. Please. Igor's wanted to run, but his legs no longer wanted to carry him. It wasn't like he had... It wasn't like he was an athlete either. He most likely didn't go as far as he thought he did when he ran off the first time. So instead he backed up till his back hit the tree behind him. After he hit the tree, he tried to pick himself up and run. However, the being snatched him by the braid, making a slight noise of annoyance. After all, they had better things to do than chase around a twink for a whole day. They held him by the hair like it was a leash, keeping him from escaping. Hey, let me go. Let me go. Igor's voice squeaked and quacked. What? Like the teenager he was. However, the being didn't budge. I'm getting lightheaded. But as ego hit them, they made an unenthusiastic ow. My brain is spinning. Don't do it to me. As Eco squirmed and squawked like a goose, the being placed the items in his hands before picking them up, like he was a pretty princess. Ecords was not having it. He continued to squirm until they got irritated and covered his mouth, but sadly, they didn't have any tape with him. What the frick? Okay. Notification, go away. Yeah, they didn't have any tape with them. Eco still squawked and screeched under the hand before they got close to his ear, merely expressing a soft shh, shh, shh. A wonderful first impression this is turning out to be. He didn't really know how to feel for a second and held his breath, stopping his puny mortal screaming. The being then started walking in a direction, one direction, giving... My fingers are tingling. That's not a good sign. Giving Equartz giving Equartz a sense of uncertainty while the being kept its hand over his mouth. It's obviously it's DJ Callie over here. Ooh, who is DJ Callie? I don't know. It's obvious that the being that oh my god. It's obvious that he couldn't fight this person, if it even was a person. So he just kept, I'm killing myself, what? So he just tried to stay still and calm, despite still being shaken. After a while of awkward silence, he reached to move their hand away from his mouth, which thankfully moved with ease. So, my name is Equartz. What's yours anyway? He asked, to only be met with more silence. Oh, I see. If you can't tell me your name, then can you at least explain? What the hell was even that? Equartz flared. The being simply tilted his head, not very bothered by his emotional outbursts. You know, when you appeared out of nowhere and almost killed me. If I somehow made you wake up, I'm sorry, okay? There's a creature walking over these parts, and it has been making a lot of chaos. And if you could let me finish this job, I would be really grateful. I'd be really grateful with you. Is that too much to ask? Equartz glared. They gave no response. Equartz slightly gulped. Oh. Well, are you hungry? There are some fireplaces in the city. There's also some other good spots in the city right next to it, but again, there's a village, right by that city that's way by the other city. Equartz rambled till the being snapped their fingers Equartz rambled till the being snapped their fingers as if wanting him to make it snappy. Equartz didn't know which was worse, the venom of the cherry snakes or the foreseen venom of their impatience. But perhaps they were equally deadly. Well, I mean, there's a perfectly lovely restaurant in the closest possible destination, surely, if you even eat normal things. Equartz was practically sweating with nervousness as he whispered under his breath. The being no longer seemed as peeved, while it stayed in its silence, altering their distance. Altering their one direction to go to the nearest place they knew of from this point. My brain is melting and I didn't even do anything. These miles weren't as strenuous to walk because Equartz wasn't the one walking this time. After all, why did my computer shut off? After all, Eco was still recovering from the forces from the darn marathon he had to run earlier. Now, he meant to express some words with the being currently holding him. If he was getting escorted by this being, he might as well get to know him, right? And so he took a figurative step forward and attempted to break the ice. So, how'd you get up there anyway? You know, in the basement? Equorts asked. They never answered. Clearly not as conversational as Equorts, but no matter. Wow. Equorts acted as if they responded, trying to keep a conversation going despite the being very awkward. Okay then. Equorts was unsure of what to say, however, that didn't stop him from wanting to try. Before he could continue speaking, they picked up the pace. A bit too much even. Just confirming over here. Whoa! Could you go a little slower? Equorts yelled. Well, they started running, even though they weren't actually going that fast anyway. Yikes, man. You run real fast, don't you? Don't you get tired? He asked, again sweating with nervousness or whatever. They answered with a slight shake of their head, not questioning how he was so sensitive to a little speed that wasn't that spitty. Inner demons over here, what? They continued this pace with the little princess, those Equorts, still entirely secure in their arms. Equorts still worried about his safety in the situation. I mean, what if they drop him? Death, most likely. Thankfully, that trip was short-lived, as I soon got to the restaurant. The being set Equorts safely on the floor, before making like his dad probably did, and leaving for the milk. Hey, wait! Can you read? Equorts asked, trying to stop them. They responded with a slight nod, turning back to him. Well, I can't, so do you mind helping me out with the menu? Actually, just come eat with me. You did give me my stuff, so I guess it would be nice to have you eat too, he suggested. He suggested, try to be casual about it as he could. They thought about it before sighing and nodding and walking back to him. The two went to the receptionist, getting a table and snatching a menu. As Equorts sat at the table, the being stood beside him, thinking, or seemingly not thinking of staying or sitting with him. So there's tuna sushi, a British Chinese. I cannot do voices very well, so I fear that none of these are actually accurate to the character, but I fear we have bigger issues to address. Spicy udon, roasted clam, scorpion fried rice, and chair snake rabbit stew. They read slowly for him, of course, bringing back the painful memories of the snakes and deadly man-eating rabbits. And even worse, the British adaptation of Chinese food. If humanity had to do one thing right, it would have been keeping China from getting snatched by Britain. God bless America. Equorts thought for a moment. There weren't many choices. But with someone like that being, I guess he shouldn't complain too much. I guess the rusty clams, pretty plays. He chose the best sounding option. Who the hell eats scorpion in their rice? They probably do. Thankfully, they don't seem the type of menace to eat British Chinese, though. So, they must not be too bad. Water, Coke, McDonald's, Sprite, even though this isn't even McDonald's. Raspberry lemonade, constant comet tea, and rat piss bear. They read slowly again for him. Ain't no way people unironically drink rat piss in their beer. No wonder beer's so disgusting. I'll have a Coke, please, he answered. The being then left to order his food for him before leaving for the door. However, unfortunately for them, they got interrupted again by E-Quartz. Bro, was like the FNAF jump scare. Leaving them with no pace. Hey, wait, stranger, whatever your name was, even though you have yet to tell me, if you leave, you'll have an E-Quartz-less world. That would be terrible, E-Quartz said, dragging them back to the table, even though he's barely half their size and mass, forcing them to sit down. They simply sighed and accepted their fate with this fatherless, random, homeless orphan harassing them. How could you live in a world without me in it? One thing was sure, E-Quartz was dramatic. They responded with their unenthusiastic, sarcastic silence. See? You get it! I think. E-Quartz smiled, sitting beside them, waiting for his food to come out. So, did you order anything? E-Quartz asked, hoping to start a conversation again. They answered with a nod, once again, always being vague. What did you order for yourself? He clarified. But, clarify? Yeah, clarifying his question. Wait, no. I don't think that's right. But he's going to clarify anyway because, he does not abide by the logistics of something he can't do, which is read and write. He clarified before they responded with a shake of their head, seemingly not hungry. How? You ran for at least 5 minutes? That's a long time. You must be starving. How aren't you tired beyond your repair? What manner of beast are you to have such an endurance? It is amazing that E-Quartz even knows a word as big as endurance. But his amazement. I don't think that's right. But his amazement at such a simple thing left them. Oh, no, I get it. Why am I confused by my own book? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's amazing that E-Quartz even... oh my god. It's amazing that E-Quartz even knows that he even know a word as big as endurance. I think I'm doing something wrong. It is amazing that E-Quartz even knows, it should be knows, a word as big as endurance. But his amazement at such a simple thing left them stunned once again. E-Quartz was about to yell again before getting silenced by the being's hand. After a few moments, they release him. Sorry. I just got a little excited. Why am I acting like Hideku? The frick? I need to chill. He apologized and did his best to keep himself quiet. Thankfully for the being, before E-Quartz could start talking again, the waitress carrying the food came to the table, serving the special ed kid his roasted clams. E-Quartz devoured his food, but soon suddenly stopped, turning to them. So, what even is your name? E-Quartz asked, still never getting a response. Well, I'll just call you Tashida then. Tashida? I guess both work. Oh my god. I'm so lightheaded right now. Well, I'll just call you Tashida then. because it means uncertainty, and I guess you make me feel uncertain. Anyway, Tushy Poo, do you want some of my clams? I know you suggested that you weren't hungry, but it would be terrible if I let you starve on a full stomach. I'm getting so dizzy right now. I need a second. Okay. Acorns offered, pushing his plate towards them. Hoping they'd take one. However, they didn't. Toshida shook their head, pushing the plate back to him. Okay, then. Are you sure, though? Like, are you sure that you're sure? Acorns leaned in. Tesh nodded, looking away from him. But are you sure that you're sure about being sure, Teshi? Acorns whispered to them intensely, adding to their nightmare of added nicknames, once again making them sigh. They nodded once again. Equartz dramatically nodded. Wait, what? Dramatically hummed, my bad. I got, I don't know, AIDS or something. What? Before soon backing up and back to eating his roasted clams, while Toshida silently sat there like a statue. While he was eating, Equartz wandered is with an A. So I spelt it right. Yay! Equartz wondered about their silence, though their voice, when they did speak, was unnaturally layered. Like any casual cryptid, it sounded like mere mimicry of the voice. So maybe it was a good thing they stopped talking. My ears hurt. What the fuck? Okay. Soren Equartz was stuffed, licking his lips and his fingers, even licking the plate clean like an uncouth dog. Toshida, I need to make a pancake. I want a pancake so bad. Like, I've been obsessed with them recently. Like, this entire week, I've just been eating pancakes. And, you know, I cook them with chocolate chips. And then I put, like, an inch of butter in the pan so that it, like, fries the pancake, you know? So it's, like, crispy, but, like, fluffy inside, you know? Toshida remained just as poised, merely dusting off the crumbs that splatter on them. Wow! That was delicious. Thank you so much, Teshi, for this meal. Equartz lightly pat Toshida on the arm. Yeah, sure. They scooch away from him before standing from the table. I'm so glad that the other chapters are slightly shorter after this, because oh my god, we're 23 minutes in and it's not done. Oh, I need to lay down, even though I am laying down. They scooch away from him before standing from the table. Equartz soon, maybe the reason I'm fucking lightheaded is because I haven't eaten anything. Like, girl, what? What do you expect from me? I need to stop saying random things, then randomly going back to reading. Ow. I'm in pain. Okay. They scooch away from him before standing from the table, Equartz soon following like a lost puppy. Toshida then drags Equartz with them, not even paying for the bill, as they flee from laws and responsibility. Damn you, Lowe's! Oh, well there, dog! Equartz got dragged, with little hope of any escape from their unnecessarily powerful grasp. Tesh ruthlessly drug him across the Earth's surface before making their way down under. We're almost done. I can do it, Queen. The apocalypse of the second wordly cleanse left the surface nearly unlivable, scorching away the unworthy and forcing those who remained to flee underground. As the years went by, the surface became covered in horrors far beyond most comprehension, and now Tish was dragging Equates? What the fuck did I just say? And now Tesh was dragging equards across those lines, avoiding said creatures, and ensuring his safety before making their way down into the depths of the planet, closer and closer to the city. Equards was squirming and squeaking again. However, Tesh continued to hold him with a vice grip whilst he descended to hell. To the haven below. Once again, the trip was short-lived, ultimately ending with Equards getting thrown gently into the city once more before they departed, faster than he could follow. Okay. Let's not accidentally thrust ourselves, okay, into the next chapter. Ouchie! I just broke 15 of my bones! Gah! That means I have at least 13 left. Ah! Equals gripped his body in pain, despite him not being in any pain, having suffered no actual damage, of course. However, soon he gets over it. Oh well, I'm sure I can survive with this. Or he tells himself, getting up, fixing his braid, and dusting off before frolicking off to his gang.